Hey everyone, the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notifications down below if you haven't already. Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom. I am Kevin, your host, and behind me in a different vantage point is the beautiful wagon wheel. Hopefully still a little wisdom up here. I am doing this from my computer this morning. Very thankful to someone who posted this in the comments section on one of my recent videos. So I was going to take a moment to read this to all of you with a specific reason in mind for doing so. I was talking with another individual who has commented in the sections here, and we were just kind of going back and forth a little bit about other people on here selling you with this idea that, if you buy their product or listen to their advice, that they're going to, essentially kind of bring you to union. But I think the one part about a lot of the people that I've watched videos is there's this sort of sales tactic for you to invest in their idea, concepts, products at your most vulnerable time. And just from an energetic perspective, that kind of the energy they give off to me seems a little false in some ways. It's not to say that they don't have valuable messages, which I believe most of them do, and I believe the intent behind them is truly to help you grow as an individual. But at the same time, I kind of I question how it's being done. When I initially started watching videos and I gravitated towards a few specific ones, and I'm not going to name names, the the initial notion that I got was it sounded in my head that they were conveying to me like this was never going to end unless I connect with them or invest into them, and all the other people in this sphere that are doing this are completely wrong in this and that. The one thing that I really wanted to bring to my channel was, number one, just a diary of sorts. I know it's out to the world right now, but a diary of sorts of the progression that I've made and the progress that I've made. That's one reason. Another big reason is I'm a male identifying in the divine feminine realm, which is very rare that I found. I didn't find many men talking about that at all. It was normally women just discussing that. And I've noticed a pretty decent following of guys that have migrated to this channel, which is great. A very good following of women as well, because at the end, we're still all going through the same processes. And having the same sort of, I suppose, childhood traumas and different things like that exposed to us. So, those were two big reasons why I made this channel. And the last reason, and I selfishly admit this, it was just an avenue for me to vent, to discuss the things that I have in my head, because I was having the hardest time accepting that all of this was real. You know, really, like, we're two souls, or one soul split into two, divine feminine, divine masculine, runner chaser, the entire dynamic. It when you've never heard of it before, it is so hard to conceptualize. Now, I've heard of soulmates, but I had no idea what the meaning of it was behind it. People throw that term around with somebody that they're infatuated with, and this and that. But once I really began to kind of dive into the depth of what the whole journey is about, it then began to make sense to me. And once I started making the videos and other people gravitating towards this with the exact same storyline, it's like, well, wait a second, how could this be possible that other people are sharing in the exact same experience that I am, whether or not they're months, years, or days, hours into it, but all seemingly carrying the same burdens, the same challenges. How this just opens up every single childhood core wound, or wounds that you've had from childhood carried it into adulthood. And I think the one thing that I really didn't like in the beginning of some of the people that were selling this was just, it seemed really fear-based. Like, if you don't get to hear, you're going to be stuck your entire life, thinking this way. And I kind of bought into that. But it made it feel more daunting. On the flip side, and very grateful to the person that posted this. I'm going to read something from a gentleman. His name is Mike Harrigan. Now, Mike Harrigan did not post this. Somebody posted this for him, and that is spelled Mike, normal, Harrigan, Harrigan. And I will post this in the link down below because he's got a Facebook page and everything. But this is to soften the journey itself, to not make it sound like it's so damn daunting, which again, I go back to these other videos. It reminds me of, I grew up Catholic, and it's like, if you don't believe in us, you're wrong. You know, all other religions were wrong. But anyway, I'm going to read this, see what you guys think. I believe it's an incredibly soft and truthful and very open way to discuss this journey and not make it sound like if you don't do this, nothing's going to happen. So let's just dive into this. So, twin flame preparation. The narcissistic or a false twin flame appears before your connection with the actual twin flame. They serve two purposes. First, they test you as to whether or not you're ready for the real thing. And second, it gives you the needed time and experience for your breakthrough. Not everyone will encounter narcissistic or false twin flames. And as I read this a couple years before I met my twin, I was in a narcissistic relationship for, it was in and out for 3 to 4 years. And that is a dark night of the soul all on its own. I'm sure people that have been through that process can resonate with that. It is something that opens up many core wounds, and it's different, but it's very similar to this journey in some aspects as well. But I'm going to keep reading. Not everyone will encounter narcissistic or false twin flames. One of the greatest twin flame lessons that are learned and endured is the lesson of cultivating love without physical contact. Whether we have spent several months or a few weeks only in the bubble love phase, true twin flames who are absolutely loaded to the rim with energetic and emotional karma will inevitably have to endure the stage of separation in order to balance their energies properly. This is the excruciating stage whereby twin flames who once couldn't bear to be without each other for 1 second, guilty as charged, now find themselves spending months, even years, lost, longingly wondering what is to become of them and their life. Typically, this sets off a dark night of the soul for the twins on both paths. Though it is the chaser twin, rather, who can attribute their feelings of longing and despair to missing their life partner, the runner twin will also find that their life has been turned upside down, even if they do not know that this is because their twin has unconsciously activated their life purpose and consequently set off all of their triggers. The realization of what has gone wrong is absolutely shattering to the chaser twin, as their twin usually rejects any and every effort for contact and reconciliation following that point. And good God, do all of us know this, or most of us know this. By this time, the chaser twin has awakened to all that this union means, and they find it impossible to cut the invisible cord that binds the two. Now remember, and that's very important, you can't cut karmic cords with your twin. Simply put, you guys are one soul. It's impossible. It is important not to go jumping to conclusions when reading the twin flame separation phase symptoms, as these symptoms can also relate in part to karmic attachments and any other codependent or abusive relationship. Now, what that's saying is, while your twin may have opened up the wounds, it doesn't mean that the wounds were necessarily about the relationship with the twin. It goes back in time, spanning your entire lifetime of any and all relationships for that matter, whether it was intimate or family or friends. So when the twin flame union, even during separation, the runner twin will send feelings of love and comfort that will be felt energetically, even if misunderstood. Many of you, myself included, have commented on how this energy we're feeling doesn't feel like our own at times. It's a very good testament to that here. It is true that this union can often mimic these sorts of unhealthy attachments. All of the twin flames have come across experiencing this journey have been an unspeakable agony, waiting, longing, and yearning for their twin. So many have put their entire lives on hold and frozen their self-worth, awaiting its resurrection by their twin. This is wrong on all accounts, not only because the twin flame union is designed to break these codependent patterns, but also because then you are not learning unconditional love. You are still searching for conditions, because granted, If you do not get a desirable response, or any response for that matter, from your twin, you are sent into a spiraling rail of gloom, doom, depression, and self-loathing. Openly admit, I've been there, sometimes still there. Some even wait years, losing the best years of their lives to the emotional torment of missing their twin, whilst their twin continues to live a life seemingly unfazed. That's a challenging part for us chasers. It seems that they walked away and just completely forgot about us, and that's all part of the letting go, all part of the unconditional love, all part of letting go of the 3D world of what we believed love was. More importantly, it's about letting go of control and the attachment idea of I'm not good enough. It's a tough one, though. Consequently, the life of the chaser twin become nothing but a series of emotional pits, anxiety, and non-fulfillment. The divine would never choose for you to live this way. This is comforting, by the way. The divine would never choose for you to live your life this way. This is not living. This is torment. Every time you obsess over your twin posing with a new man or woman on social media, or about the important date they did not contact you on, you are slowly opening up the childhood wound that breathes, you are not enough. Do stop using labels. Labels only entrench your energy, create blocks, and attract the very things you're trying to avoid. I'm guilty of this because when I post these videos, I post the label twin flame. I'll use the terms, and I'm going to get better doing that. I've switched from the twin flames to even saying twin souls because to me it sounds better. Divine masculine, divine feminine, I don't even like saying. It sounds goofy to me in a way, but drop the labels if you can. I'm really working on that as well. The twin flame union is our ultimate resonance, our soul's highest purpose. But this is only if both twins clear themselves of the ego's way of thinking, feeling, and living. Otherwise, they are certainly not meant to be together. Take a look at the example of a fully activated and self-actualized chaser twin who completes all of the necessary work, meaning we've done everything, and is fully on the road to recovery, takes charge of their destiny, and then the matrix twin who is still stuck in the ego consciousness, who refuses to choose the light or continues to harm themselves and others with low vibrational or abusive behavior. Now, if you're a chaser twin and you've self-actualized and got to the best version of yourself, and you see the low energy or feel the low energy for that matter of your twin coming in, you're going to reject them anyway. It might seem, you might feel the emotion, or you probably will feel the emotion charge you up a little bit, but you're going to notice very early on that little to no work has been done. And when you get in this state, you're going to have the judgment or discernment to be like, you know what? I'm in too good a place right now. I'm not going to be taken backwards. Think of the fight you had to go through to get where you're at. Are you going to want to go backwards to somebody who's still stuck in their ego? Hell to the no. So just own that about yourself, and just keep in mind that, again, while we think we want union, most of us do, it isn't about that. That's the part we have to really detach from, because we're forced to do the work. The chaser isn't necessarily, or excuse me, the runner isn't necessarily forced like we are. We're in a position where we don't go backwards. We can't go backwards. We can stay stuck, but we can't go backwards. They aren't as enlightened or awakened as we are. So they might sit in this and feel the energy of something needs to change, but they might not even bother doing it. It's just reality. So the universe is all about energy. Many of those who are horrified by the idea of twin flames dating a soulmate are only this way because they are still stuck in an ego consciousness. They fear that dating a soulmate may completely invalidate the divinity or authenticity of their twin flame union, or exile any possibility of a reunion. This is all untrue. Meaning, if the divine feel that you've advanced and if there is a soulmate available, they'll make it happen. Take advantage of it if you want to. Not take advantage of them, take advantage of the situation if you want to. It might present itself. And if your twin, like I just said, hasn't advanced, you're not doing anything or going backwards at this point. You're simply involving yourself with a soulmate who can help uplift your energy and your spirit as well, just like you will with them. Is it the same, exact same? Don't know, but I'm going to guess not entirely, but damn close. Sometimes, for whatever reason, through the years, it strikes you that your twin flame's journey is separate from yours, and you must accept this and grow within your circumstances, releasing your desire to control. This does not diminish, not erase the bond connection, and twins are due to keep finding their way onto each other's paths, regardless of how many years have come and passed. Soulmate relationships are far less energetically charged, just kind of said that, and tumultuous than twin flame relationships, meaning we don't have the ups and downs and the battles we do with our twin. And often we will find that they run far more smoothly. Sorry, I had a phone call there. Let me check something quick. Okay, still record. Good. Live in the moment, the here and now. Do not miss out for a future that is unpromised. If a soulmate relationship is successful for a twin flame, their vibrations will elevate for both, and their partner to heights most profound, though they will be eternally connected to their twin. So even if you do decide to go the route of a soulmate, just keep that in mind, okay? It's not hurting anything. You're not hindering any progress with anybody. In fact, you're enhancing progress for both. It's just you need to keep an open mind that this isn't about finding your twin again. It's also very likely that any children they bore will hold the place of the next generation of light workers and seeds. I'm talking about with a soulmate connection here. Thus, the element of the spiritual love and its manifestations are never lost. Don't forget you are infinite beings being in a human body. You are here for a reason, and you have everything it takes to be happy and to reunite. I am, you are, we are oneness, global consciousness by Mike Harrigan. So this morning I just wanted to read that to you guys. I found it to be incredibly beautiful, much like that book, Twin Souls, that I'm reading. And it's readings like this that put this process at more of an ease, at least for me. Hearing it from this perspective, it sounds far less daunting. It sounds far more rewarding, and it makes sense of all of these other things that, again, I bring up people making videos. The methodology, the way they hit you with it, in a way, it sounds terrifying. The journey sounds terrifying. That the second you're thinking about them, you're looping. You're going to think about them. How you think about them, I think, is the key here. And as you begin to detach from them, learn to go within your own soul, learn to cultivate these new ideas that you might have always had inside of you, but didn't really necessarily know how to get to. Just these different things. And I just wanted to read that this morning so all you guys kind of see where I'm coming from with this journey and the approach that I'm taking. Again, it's not a one-size-fits-all. You guys do you. And that is kind of the end of this. So if you like it, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Going to keep doing videos like this. I do take a little bit of time off to help reset. This actual weekend, my friend invited me up to northern Wisconsin so I can do a little fishing, one of the most beautiful places in the entire planet as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to take full advantage of that. I might do a couple short videos, even though they're off the grid, not off the grid, but they're outside of the grid up there, we'll call it. They do have internet, so I'll see what I can do. But live your life on your terms. That's the ultimate truth on this one, too. Your twin would want that for you. Believe me. All right? Love you guys.